Hello, David. Let's see. I'll move it around once we get started. Now, let me just get you guys down a little bit more. Can you hear me? Let me open up mine. Happy Wednesday. I think I said that already. We are making some florals today. Floral macarons. And I'm gonna be doing French method and my normal 100 grams of egg whites. So I'm not doing a smaller batch than usually I do pretty small batches on the lives. I'm gonna do 100 grams. So it yields about, is it 2.5 dozen? I think it's about 2.5 dozen. Hi Maria, so excited you're here. Let me find this live. Here we go. Okay. I wish I could orient my phone a little bit differently. Just feel like you don't get the best angle with this, but it's better for YouTube to be. Hi from the UK. Hi Bessie. Hi Michelle from Everett. Hello. Close by. Washington. Okay. So like I said, we're doing a floral kind of display for Mother's Day. You guys voted on it. Thank you for voting, first of all. I love having some help with these things because I can never decide. I really want to get good at vegan macarons though, so that will be, if you're one of the people that voted for vegan macs, it will come in the future. Hi from Alaska. Which part of Alaska? I'm coming up next week. We are going up north to look for homes in Anchorage. Hi from South Africa. Yes, Amy, I really want to learn it. So yesterday, okay, Wasilla. Okay, a little bit north, right? A little, like, I don't even know, is it 40 minutes outside of Wasilla? Okay, so I made these yesterday. The lighting is just too bad. Yes, we'll be up there. So these are some tulips. It's hard to see. My apologies for the lighting. But made some tulips. So really all you have to do is like pipe this odd shape. Someone said it looked like the Snapchat. I think the Snapchat thing is like this way. I don't have Snapchat, I'm too old for that. But someone said it looked like that logo. So basically, I have videos already. Hi from France. I'm feeling so much better, Steffi, thank you. So basically, they're plain, and then I'll just show you how I outline them to make them look a little more tulipy later. But first, we're gonna get started on the other florals we'll do. But I do have videos on tulips, so that's why I'm not gonna show them today. And then I also have rosettes, a tutorial on rosettes, which would be great for Mother's Day too, and to put into a bouquet. So you can look up those videos. Today we're gonna try something I've never done before. Hello, Ian, nice to see you. On Instagram, if you guys have Instagram, you guys voted for this shaped kind of like daisy-esque flower. Not so much daisy because they have more of an elongated look to them, but you know, very cartoony, cute floral. Not sure what you'd call these. They could be anything. So we're gonna try those today. And then on my Instagram stories, I also said I was gonna try, if you guys follow Sweet Mac Shop on Instagram, her handle is Sweet Mac Shop. Her name's Barb. She has done these little eclair-sized macarons before, and just straight up and down pipe eclairs, but in a macaron. And then she'll do some kind of decor on them. So for Carrie's birthday, she did like a big picture of Carrie's because she's really tall. These are people you might not know, but anyways, you could just draw on them and use them as a medium to draw on and decorate. So I thought maybe we would draw like a half-shaped eclair, half-sized, so not the full 5 inches, but 2.5 inch thin, elongated Mac. And then we'll draw like some hyacinth on there or something like that. So my artistic abilities are very slim. Yes, Barb is great. So hyacinth may be too hard, but I was looking up some pictures, and I feel like the grape hyacinth varietal looks very much just like lavender almost, or like just all together. I think I could do some circles on a green stem. So that's basically what I'm going to try, to add some color. And we'll do blue because I think blue will look nice with the purple that I have, and we'll do some pink and white today. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Now I'll stop babbling on and we can start. So I've got my template prepared. I've got the eclair sized shape. That is JFB, Just Find Best parchment paper. If you're interested, they have a website, Just Find Best. And you always pipe on the opposite side of the ink. Okay, so make sure you have this flipped over. All right. Louise, is it Louis or Louise? For 100 grams of egg whites, I feel like actually the larger size batches, maybe it's just me personally, are easier than the smaller batches, but just be careful with over mixing when you're doing those smaller batches. Okay. Oh, and Louis, I just saw that macarons has helped mentally in your life, and that makes me so happy. I feel like it is a game changer for me too when I get to bake in the kitchen. So hallelujah, that is amazing to hear. Thanks for being here. It is an honor to bake with you guys. So I've got the 100 grams of egg whites in here. I've got my 130 grams of TPT, almond flour, and so it's not 130, it would be 260 TPT or 130 almond flour and 130 confectioner sugar. Neighbors, British Columbia, hello. And then we've got, yes, we will be neighbors. I was just thinking I think we'll drive through there when we end up moving. We've got our 90 grams of sugar and 3 to 4 grams of egg white powder. I've got all my piping bags prepped with the right size tips. And we're going to be making a white for the eclair size, and then we'll do some like white daisies. So we'll do some white for both of those, and then a yellow center. And then we'll also have some pink flowers with the yellow center. So we're gonna split our batter and do 3 different colors. White, which we just won't color, pink, and I'm gonna use Master Elite Lime for the yellow centers because I just love how neon yellow the lime looks. So do you know, I don't age my egg whites. I cracked them this morning. I always recommend aging your egg whites if you're having trouble with certain things like a really nice sturdy shell, if you're having feet spread out when you're baking instead of rising up, then you can age your egg whites. It just increases that protein and decreases the liquid in your egg whites. So you really have to do it for a few days for it to make a difference, which some people are nervous about, but room temperature, out with maybe some saran wrap and some holes poked in it. But because we put egg white powder, we kind of can skip that step. Yeah, so make sure, that's a great point. If you're measuring your egg whites, measure them after you age your egg whites. So make sure you have more than enough egg whites aging, and then measure the proper amount. And then that's going to give you this concentrated amount of egg white protein in your liquid egg whites. It's going to have a little bit higher protein content. I'm going to put some white in the base here, so then I don't have to color white later. This is just the Sugar Art Master Elite white. This lighting, I tell you, you can't see anything. Ramon, hello. Thank you for the purchase. I hope it's clear, and that you, if you have any questions, you can email me. All right, so we're nice and foamy. I'm gonna move this down so you guys can see in the bowl, and we're gonna add our sugar. Sorry, are you guys there still? This is when parchment paper would come in handy to just pour it in there when I am doing the bigger batches. When I get a phone call, everything pauses. Celia, thank you so much. Wow, look at that guy. What is that animal? Is that like antlers? Are those antlers with it? Is that a deer? I don't know, but I am loving it. Thank you so much. I am not doing the drop whisk method because this is a bigger batch. So I'm at a 3, speed 3, just to get that sugar dissolved. David knows. Aww. All right, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. All right. So here we are. The foaminess is very apparent. You don't see any more yellow from just liquid egg whites, right? At this point, usually your sugar is pretty dissolved. If you wanted to check, you could check the stream, because you definitely want to make sure you don't feel any more granules, there we go, of sugar before you turn it up higher and start whipping the air in. So just make sure all that sugar is dissolved, and then you're gonna go up to medium speed and really start whipping the air into it. So I'm at a 6 now, and I'm gonna whip, whip, whip. See? You're gonna make me cry. Where can I buy the powder colors? The sugarart.com. That's where I have most of my dry powders from. Yeah, it does cost a lot. Oh my goodness. Ramon, you guys are like being so kind. Thank you. So I'm at a 6 right now and it's starting to really whip in. Really whip in. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the air has started to be enclosed in the egg whites. It's got some fluff to it, so I'm gonna turn up to an 8 and finish her off to a stiff heat, and then we'll put in our dries and then separate and do our colors. So happy to hear that I'm thorough. I feel like I talk a lot, so I appreciate that it's helpful, and to hear that is affirming for sure. Thank you guys. Amy, I've heard Aldi's flour is great. I've not tried it myself though. We're getting there. See how it's kind of building up around the whisk? Is that possible to see? Experience with the Aldi's. We don't have Aldi's around here, but we used to when I lived in Pasadena. They opened one up. I haven't been able to try it. Alright, see how it's nice and clumping and pulling away from the side of the bowl, and it has structure. Let's check it out and see where we're at. See how it stays on the whisk too? That's a great sign. And I love when it comes up with it. Depending on the size of your bowl and what kind of model you have of the KitchenAid, you know, it might not come up with the whisk, but I love when it is on the whisk like this. And then see how it's very stiff. Since I've been doing Italian method a lot, it's so different because I've noticed I don't want this stiff of a meringue when I'm doing Italian method, but this is definitely what you want with the French method. Super nice and stiff, but it's still glossy, right? It's still shiny. When you over mix, then it starts to leach out the waters and gets kind of dry looking and clumpy. So this is nice. shiny, beautiful. Let me move the mixer out of the way. Okay, so we've got our bowl, our spatula, and we're just gonna mix in our dries first without trying to really deflate all that air we just whipped up, because we want to separate our batter and color it. So make sure you're really careful at that point if you're doing multiple colors from one batch. So I kind of just let it even it out a bit so it can receive the almond flour and confectioner sugar. And I'm just gonna mix it in. Yes, this is French method. Thank you, Marie. Celia? Now I'm forgetting how I pronounced it last time. Celia. Okay, so it's gonna look so wrong. It like attaches to your spatula in clumps, and it feels like, I've done something wrong, but trust me, it will all come together. Just make sure you're careful. You don't have to like be patting it like the ultimate like micro pats, right? You don't have to be that careful, but you just want to not be pressing at this time. Any Mac tails today? Celia. Was that it, Celia? Please let me know. Oh, I hate not being able to print. Okay. Alrighty, so we have, that was just 2 additions. You can do it in 2 or 3 additions, adding your dries in. It's really whatever you feel comfortable with. It is a little bit easier to do it if you're new to macarons. Do it in 3 additions, just till about 70% incorporated, and then add your next batch, so you don't get too many chunks. So just tumbling at this point, going at the bottom of my bowl, making sure all those clumps are getting evenly dispersed throughout that meringue that we just made. Lavender lemonade and with vodka. Ooh, that sounds yummy. That sounds refreshing. Okay, let's see here. I made some beautiful shells. Yay, Marie. Isn't that nice? It really saves the arm workout doing your macaronage with your mixer. I always, if I have the time, and I don't make too many large batches, so I always prefer to do it by hand, just for the control of it. But definitely if you have large production, that is the way to go. You save so much money. Okay, so texture-wise, what's the difference? Carrie? The texture of this recipe is very similar to Italian, but Italian is still going to be more stable of a meringue. We're going to put some of our, so this is, we're going to mix, we're going to do 3 different things, but I'm just going to utilize this bowl really fast and finish off this white, and then we'll put that. I'm just trying to not use extra bowls. So I'm going to macaronage this part and just have this be our white, and then I'll separate these 2 into pink and yellow or lime. Italian method is going to be very similar feeling to this recipe is what I was trying to say. But it just bakes up so differently. I feel like Italian method can be so much more temperamental in my home. So I just prefer tried and true. Don't have to worry about lopsided macarons. Which actually with the air bake tray, when you're doing Italian method, I feel like it has been a game changer. Italian method and air bake trays. Beautiful combination. Okay. This doesn't look like super white. If you really wanted some white shells, I have this color from AmeriColor that is ash colored, and I feel like it kind of neutralizes that yellowish hue from your almond flour, or people like to put violet in there, but I'm not huge on adding more color than I need to, so I'm fine with a little bit of natural yellowness to my white. But now we're at a nice flowy consistency, and I did this white piping bag from the Flower Girl for this. I'm actually not going to be an affiliate anymore for the Flower Girl, but there's so many other codes you can use if you guys want to purchase. Saucy Bakes, Sasha, she has a code for this. I think Baby Sheldon, I'm trying to think of their handles because I just, Baby Cakes maybe? Sheldon on Instagram, he has a code. Lots of people, so I'll try to get some and post them in my stories so you guys can still get, if you want these reusable piping bags, get a nice discount. I don't know what I'm doing because I want to keep this bowl. So here's our white. I'm just going to twist it up and put it upside up. I don't know. Upside up. And then, so it's not going to spill out as we wait. Okay. Now we're going to cut this into two more. We're going to do some yellow, and this will be pink. So this is lime, actually. I just like the Master Elite Lime. Adds this nice neon look to a yellow, like a neon yellow. Just a little bit. And again, these Master Elites are activated by liquid. So if you wanted, I showed recently, you can like dab some either clear extract if it's a light color, or just vanilla extract. Doesn't have to be clear to help it kind of get nice and deep color. But I only really need that activation, that deep activation, when I'm doing black or like a plum or something. So at this point, this is a very big bowl for this amount. So you gotta be careful if you do that. But I'm just going to tumble this so my powder can get all the way incorporated before it's too liquidy of a batter and a flow. I don't want to over mix this batter, right? So I'm just tumbling to mix in the color. Let's see here. So important. Oh, have you found that you're getting nice full shells? Okay, so we're almost there. I don't know what the Nicole way is, but I like it. Okay, so we still have some room to press out air now that we got the batter, the color incorporated, excuse me. See how pretty that color is? Gosh, I love it. Almost there. See how I'm just working it in like a little side of this bowl. I don't want to be spreading it the whole side of the bowl, or else it's going to get overmixed really fast with how small of this batch. So just be careful if you're using way too big of a bowl like me. This is good. Make sure you don't get it too spread out in the whole bowl. Okay, I think I have, yes, this one is the lime. Beautiful lime. And then we'll do some pink in here. Okay, so again, I flip it up this way so it's not gonna spill out. And I have this deep pink from Chef Master. Just always shake them before, because liquid settles on the top. And then 2 drops. I'm contemplating, do I really want the second drop? Yes. Go for it, Nicole. Be crazy. Okay, so this is 2 drops for a tiny amount of batter. We should get a nice color from this. And that lime can mix in. I'm not worried about that. I don't want to use too many spatulas. All right, so I'm just gonna tumble it just like I was with the powdered color until my color is very apparent and spread throughout homogeneously. And then I will start pressing out if I have more to do. Can I keep my shells in the fridge? Yes. I never have done this, but Tiana from Whisk, ATX, she taught me that you can do it. I thought it would absorb too much moisture and get too soft, but I know a lot of people who keep shells in the fridge for one night, 24 hours. I just always throw them in the freezer. Okay, look at how nice and deep of a pink that is. Okay, so we are still too stiff. The pink is incorporated. Now I'm just gonna press out and get some of that air out. Deliberately pressing out the air. We beautifully and took our time whipping into it, so that when we pipe it, it's gonna meld into a nice circle with no tip left on the top. A little bit more. And then we're ready to do our flowers. Yeah, Lisa, so the sugar art code that I have is Baked to Jour. So just like the name on this channel. And then I'm not sure if my code stops today for the Flower Girl, so I'll have to get some other codes. You could try Baked to Jour 15 for the Flower Girl if you buy today. If it's not today, then definitely try Saucy Cakes. If you look her up on Instagram, try her code. I'm sure she has it on her bio on Instagram. Okay, and then for Headley and Bennett, this apron, if you want 15% off your apron purchases, I got a matching one for my daughter. Then you can use Baked to Jour as well. Okay, so I think we're at a good stage here. Trying to get it flowy for you guys. Bum ba dum bum. And then we'll see it's melding into itself in the bowl. I'm just kind of watching to see how it settles. And it is settling. So I think we're all set. There we go. All right, guys. Pink for a pink batch. I love how the batter flows. It's just so pretty. Okay, so now we've got pink, yellow, and white, and we're gonna pipe our flowers. Again, I've never done these flowers before, so we will see. Hi, Helmy. Yes, the Italian method. I'm just doing a quick video for that, and I'm hoping to have it out at the end of this week. An edited video. Okay. Let's try these first. Do you add food color in? Mariah, yes. I'll add food coloring at any stage. I've got my template underneath, guys, and I'm just going to start piping. Depending on if I'm going to split my batter up and do multiple colors, then I won't color my meringue. But if it's just going to be one color for the whole batch, then I'm definitely going to color my meringue. I like adding it into my egg whites most. Can't wait to try Italian method. Yeah, the Italian method is fun, you guys. So I'm just going to pipe circles. Ooh, this is a big tip for this little template I made. Okay, so I'm just piping the circles to fill in the petals, and then I'll come back and do the yellow center. I'm also going to use this white for the eclair kind of shaped. So I want to make sure I don't use all of it. Whoops. All right, that was too big of a tip, but we can make it work. So these will settle, but I just want to make sure they don't settle over the circle. If you wanted them to have more defined shape, I'll show you. They will meld together on their own. But if you want them to have their own defined shape, like each petal, then pipe every other petal. And then let them, there's 5, so let them rest and dry a little bit before you pipe the one next to it. So I'm just taking my scribe and filling in, or like kind of evening out and filling in the template. And then we'll do some other colors. How about let's do the pink? I was gonna wait patiently to have one dry, but I'm not patient. Okay, let's do the yellow in the middle. All right. Just kind of make sure they touch enough where they are not going to break as you pick them up off of the mat. Okay, and then what I saw a lot of people doing these days is taking royal icing and doing this just outline, and it really helps the shape. It just looks so pretty, but I am not a royal icing fan. Okay, so if these were completely dry, then I would do my other dots. But you know me and my patience, very thin. Okay, and then some yellow. How cute, right? Little daisies. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more pink. And then I will definitely read your guys' comments in a second. The thing with when you're doing these little circles, make sure you're doing them evenly, or else you're gonna have really uneven macaron. So that's kind of the trickiest part about doing separate circles. Just make sure they're even. You're applying the same amount of pressure. See, I think they're cute. Okay, these ones definitely got bigger. Let's do some of these so we can start this. I'm gonna turn this on. So I'm gonna try to just do half of these white. I'm gonna do from here and here, because up here with this little lip that I have on this pan, I don't get feet. Sometimes it'll be obstructed, so. If you have some batter, you can just stick this so it doesn't fly elsewhere. Going nice and slow to the halfway mark. I do have a code for this too for 10% off. I think it's just baked toujours. Okay. So here's some simple, like little petit four looking eclairs almost. And then with my parchment, I'm not gonna tap my tray out. So I don't want them to lose their shape. Parchment tends to lose its shape a little bit more than silicone, and they spread out more. So I'm just using my scribe to even it out, since I'm not going to tap-a-roo. And then I'll bake these immediately and then finish some florals and we can move on. Okay, here are these guys. Let's put them in. Oh, it's not preheated yet. Let's do more daisies. Okay, sorry guys. It's settled a little bit. Okay. Definitely a larger template would be nice, or smaller tip. So I'm learning because I just made this template on the fly. So the circles are a little bit too small for this tip. I could definitely do a bigger flower next time. But if you're not used to doing shapes, something like this is a nice gateway into shape, different types of character macarons, because you're just doing more circles. If you're super artsy, you could start like putting some of the yellow up, like you know how it's usually shaded a little bit, and like you could do a little toothpick and kind of bring in some more color, or you could do that afterwards. I'm just happy if these look like flowers at the end of the day. So I'm gonna put my little eclair looking macarons in my toaster oven, and then let's put these in and get these baked too. Both no rest method. I just don't want these little tips, so that's what I'm doing right now, making sure we don't have that tip and that each petal touches each other, so I'm not going to have a macaron that doesn't peel off my mat well. Again, if you want to be super fancy and have each petal look completely separate, you're going to have to do every other petal and not have them, you have to wait till they're dried to put the one next to it. Sorry guys. And we're ready for the oven. Okay, I gotta remember to take this out. And let's put them both in. This going in. My oven's at 300. I'm gonna drop it to 290 just to keep the internal temp around 300. And I'm gonna put them in for 9 and 9 and see how it is. And then let's put in, oh, our little white ones. Over here. And I'm dropping it down to 275, especially with that parchment paper. I'll drop it lower. My feet are probably gonna get a little bit crazy with the parchment paper and then the steel, the French steel pan, but we'll see. I have a lot more, so I'm thinking I'll pair, trying to think about the bouquet. I have these cute little, this is from the Flower Girl, Shop the Flower Girl, they're little popsicle sticks. And they have green on them. So it'd be cute to have the buttercream and then the green popsicle stick coming out. So it's like a, you know, it looks more like a flower. Pretty, right? Instead of just the white usual lollipop sticks. So I'm just gonna use those. But I don't know if I want to have the base. Someone can help. Let's see. Should I have the back of my flowers be another flower so they're equal on top of each other? Or should I have the flower be with a circular base? What do you guys think? Rasna, hello. My countertop oven is an Oster oven. Oops, I'm showing you on the wrong thing. Michelle asked her macarons take 3 days to mature. That could be an overbaked issue, or it could possibly be your filling. Are you filling with American buttercream or something? What are you filling your batter with? I'm seeing lots of circles, and circle was first. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do a circle base. So I'm gonna just pipe some circles here. This big silicone piping mat is from Amazon. It's on my Amazon storefront. I'll put it here. It's an affiliate link, so I do get a small kickback when you shop off of it, but it's at no extra cost to you. Amazon.com/shop/bake toujours. Excuse me. So on that website, I have these large 15 by 20 air bake trays, as well as these full big mats. This isn't a full tray because technically those are bigger and don't fit into a standard home oven. But the mat is, yes, these cookie sheets are amazing. You can fit so much more in the oven. These are, I think, called a 2/3 sheet tray. 2/3 sheet tray size. All right. And this was an Oster toaster oven. They have a different brand at Costco right now, but it's not the same as this model. And yeah, the cookie sheets are from Amazon. Okay, just gonna pipe some circles. Oh, actually, you know what? I want some yellow flowers. Let's just see what those look like. Excuse me. Just a couple yellow ones. Yeah, so this is so much easier with the smaller piping tip. So definitely get the appropriate size piping tip. Way too big. This is a size 6 millimeter, so it's, I think, about a 10 Wilton tip. So much better with the smaller tip. I need to learn my lessons, you guys. Okay. So I'll just do a couple. So here we've got the yellow with a white center. And then I'm gonna pipe some bases, and then I'll get to your questions. Oops. I don't know how many of each I have going. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many white? I have like 14 white, so I don't know if I have enough for this, but we'll see. If not, I can pair some of the bases with the flowers I already did, because I don't have enough for, I didn't think of that. I should have done more pink flowers. Okay, so white is out. Excuse me, let's see here. See if I can do another pink flower or two. Sorry guys, I know I see the chat is moving and I can't wait to catch up. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay. I mean, you guys all have really good royal icing skills. I feel like you could definitely do some fun things with these flowers, the extra additional stuff. I did not prep royal icing though, so I'm going to show you how I did those tulips with some paint and some edible markers. Our little eclairs are looking cute. I'm going to try to draw some hyacinth on there. So here is our last tray. And let's go check out, see how our flowers are doing in the big oven. So here's our little toaster oven. If you can see, the feet are developing. They look pretty cute. Let's see how they're doing in our gas oven. We'll flip the tray. Ooh, they've got feet. try to show you guys. See? So I'm gonna do 9 more minutes. 9 and 9. I have white in there, so I don't want to over bake and brown those. So we'll stick with that for now. And let's see. Out of that batter. Try to get all the batter out so I'm not wasting any. Woo! What temp am I baking at? Great question. So for the temperature, I have the internal oven temperature around internal oven temperature is around 300. I have my actual oven set to 290. I always forget this guy turns off. So these little dudes, I'm gonna let them cool completely. But the goal is to draw something like a hyacinth or like a lavender on it to be part of the bouquet. Something like a different shape that's not so cheesy cartoony, but just cheesy painty with my skills. Okay. This will be an everlasting love. Let me check out your guys' questions. Do I always feel confident with my macarons? No. I feel pretty confident with the method of making the macarons, but decorating, no. I second guess myself, and I end up doing more when less is more usually, and I ruin things. How long did I bake the Eclair size shells? Those were in the oven for 11 minutes. These I got the idea from Barb from the Sweet Mac shop. So she has she had these little eclairs and she like drew things on them, and eclair size macs. So I thought it was so cute. I also last year did Eclair Macarons. There's a man, now I'm gonna forget, he's a famous pastry chef, and he does all these amazing eclairs. And he builds a lot of texture with them, so he tops some of them off with actual macarons on top of the eclairs. So I did that, if you've seen that before. They were pâte à choux eclair like base, and then a macaron top. It makes it dipped in eclair, like the shiny fondant that you see on top of eclairs. Oh, it was so pretty. It was really yummy too. Nice texture. Okay. White chocolate ganache. White chocolate ganache can be super good. It just has to have a lot of flavor with it, in my opinion. Like some chai tea infused in the cream. Something to take away from the sweetness of the white chocolate, in my opinion. I'm just not a huge sweet fan, or something super salty to pair with it. So I like a white chocolate ganache if it's chai white chocolate ganache, pumpkin white chocolate ganache, and then like what were the other things that more tea flavored, like Earl Grey, stuff like that. I'm missing one in particular that I love, but okay, let me see. I feel you. I don't know if so Lewis, with macarons, it takes a lot takes a lot of trials, and before you were saying that's a lot of ingredients wasted, and so that's a bummer, right? If you continue to have the same mistakes, maybe like if you're not taking notes, take notes as you do each trial, and make sure you change one thing at a time in your macaron process to know, like, okay, this is either gonna be because my oven temperature is too low, or it's like gonna be something completely different, and I'm gonna be able to check off oven temperature if this isn't the case. Like you want to be able to do one thing at a time methodically to figure out your trouble areas, right? And then hopefully the actual ingredient failures you won't have to waste product is what I'm trying to say. And if you watch Pies and Tacos, she has great recipes for using macaron shells that have cracked or that aren't good. Reuse them in as a pie crust or in brownies. So lots of fun things to use cracked shells for, or lopsided macarons for. Okay. Lisa, thank you for being here, Lisa. What does the salt do? I don't add salt to my meringue anymore. I don't know, were you guys talking about salt beforehand? I just like salt in my buttercream or filling in some way to offset the sweetness. Like some salted pistachios are absolutely delicious with a super sweet like American buttercream or something. Yes, the kids will eat them too, right? I love shells. I can't say I like them more, but I love shells. I use white chocolate when I'm using raspberry pistachio. Yes, Nina, that's a great combination too. And that pistachio, the nut, takes away from all the sweetness, I feel like, and the tart from the raspberry. Really good. What do you usually filling your macs with these days? I fill my macarons with what I have on hand lately, mostly buttercreams. My go-tos are either dark chocolate ganache or a buttercream, like cookies and cream, or freeze-dried strawberries, so a strawberry buttercream. They're always crowd pleasers. I like lavender honey, so infusing some cream with culinary grade lavender, and then using that in a buttercream to add a nice, I don't like lavender like smell, so it's like too soapy for me, but this paired with macarons is so yummy, and a little bit of honey. Yeah. I don't use lavender oil, but it could possibly be great. I've just never tried it. I've always just steeped my cream with some lavender. Swiss method. And try it. Yeah, and you know what? If you start to not enjoy the process, Louis, then, maybe this particular path is not the best. Maybe something else, only if you're not enjoying it. Like at that point, ooh, hibiscus would be yummy. It's all about looking inside and seeing, like, is this giving me joy? I feel like Marie Kondo. And if it is, then great, because it's such a feat when you learn how and you start to feel confident every single time. I'm too stubborn. Yes, well, you know what? The French method has its perks, but the other methods are fun too. So here is our, let's see if these are done. I'm baking them less. Ooh, hibiscus and pistachio. So here are our flowers. I think they're cute, very cartoony, very fun. I'll let these cool. The batter comes out great, and sometimes happens on the oven hollow. Okay, Sometimes happens on the oven that. So in the toaster oven, I'm using it's called a half sheet tray, but it's actually smaller than a half sheet tray. It is from JB Prints, and it is a French steel pan. Here's a normal half sheet tray. Let me just get the parchment off here. Here's a normal half sheet tray. And here is my French steel pan. So it's a tiny bit smaller, right? Like you probably have about an inch, a half of an inch to an inch, 3/4 of an inch maybe, left. And so it fits just right into the Oster oven. Okay, I'm letting my oven temperature regulate a little bit, and then I'm gonna put that second tray in. My template is out. And then we can decorate. Okay. So this was my drawing, my brainstorming. Look how beautiful I draw, right? Okay. So we've got, I'm gonna use some paint, and I'm using Master Elites from the Sugar Art, and some sterling pearls. So not Master Elites, but they're Elites. Sorry, I think I said Master Elites. Elite colors and sterling pearls. The sterling pearls are more shimmery, less full coverage, and the Elites are more like a full coverage paint. And I'm gonna mix it with the color solution. So again, like I wanna reiterate, I am not a painter. I can't draw. So I like to do things as simple as possible. Yes, cocoa butters would be great. Oh my gosh. That's so expensive to go purchase though if you're not using chocolates and things often. So Razna, thank you so much. I love having your name in the live chat. Thank you. So it's definitely up to you, but cocoa butter would be an amazing thing to invest in if you're wanting to color a lot of things or do like bonbons and things with chocolate. Oh yes. And powdered color. Wow, really? You put those together? I love it. So to make, because these kind of look a little bit like, oh, what is it, you know? So to make it more like a tulip, you can shade it with an airbrush, but for me, I want things quick and easy, so I'm going to show you an easier way. I'm going to take, these are Chef Master. There's two sides. I'm going to take the smaller, thinner side and just outline a tulip. So kind of, I'm going to have it go down in the center. I know you guys can't see. Like bring it down and then bring this one to it like that, and then connect them up here like that, right? And then we're gonna paint over it. This is a little bit shoddy, but you kind of get my drift, right? And then painting over it helps kind of develop dimension and takes away from the crappy lines that I have. So what I was using before is Hollyhock Sterling Pearl and some color solution, and it evaporated. So I'm gonna just pour a couple more little splashes of the color solution to revive this. And this is gonna be paint worthy again. And then I'm just gonna kind of outline it first. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be perfect here. Just so the lines are a little bit darker on the outside. And then I will color the whole thing in. And this just kind of gives it that extra, almost like you shaded it, but I don't know how to shade. So, kind of look. And just easy peasy. So you have like a little bit more dimension with your floral, your tulip. Okay? So that's a nice easy way for your tulip macaron. I wish the lighting would show you guys how to do it. Well, thank you, Razna. Okay. And then I do have a tulip video. I thought I did a tulip video. I thought I did, and that's why I wasn't gonna do them today. So I'll have to relook. But I'm pretty sure I did a tulip video. If I didn't on here, I have one on Instagram. If you go to like the videos caption, I think 2 years ago I did a actual like quick show of how to do it with the airbrushing even. Okay, so let's try this. Let's get our little like eclair sized macaron, right? Little small eclair. Why can't I think of words? Always. Little petit four. There we go. Sambo, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to draw on here. Okay, so let's do it. I'm gonna do a really thin one to outline, and then I will try to paint. Sorry, I'm not gonna draw, I'm gonna try to paint. So I'm gonna try just to like do some really long grass kind of legs. So like super simple, easy, guys. Just do some more like grass bits. And then I'll start to add like the grape, like the hyacinth, grape hyacinth. Look up the variety. It looks just like little grapes on the top, or like bluebell. So I have a blue here. I have Blue La La Sterling Pearl from the Sugar Art. Look how pretty that is. See if I have a small enough spoon for in there. I used my spoon earlier that I always use. Okay. Sorry guys, I know this live is taking a long time. So I'm gonna use just a little bit of this Sterling Pearl. This is a half teaspoon, and it's like probably a 16th of a teaspoon. So I've got the little bit in here. Gonna mix it with a couple drops of color solution and get a clean paintbrush. Let's do, the smaller the better for now, and then I can fill it in. Mix, mix, mix. And then I'm just gonna try to paint. And I can even outline this later. Like, let's go a little bit higher. Just kind of doing little circles, you know? And that's about it. That's like all I was thinking. Maybe I'll offshoot and do another. do another one on the same one so it has a little bit more to it. See, what do you guys think? Simple, right? Something kind of different, fun. And then I'll take some green. I'm pretty sure holly is a nice green color. And I'll go over the stem just to, oh yeah, that's green. Just a little bit. Ooh, that's a dark green. So let's see if I can kind of just color in the, like, do some texture for these leaves. I don't know, I'll work on it. What do we think? This is my artistic ability. I think it's pretty. My expectations are low for my painting. Okay, so that's that, and then let me switch the tray. So as of right now, we don't have bases because they're in the oven. So if we were pairing them up like this, we can do that. And we've got our little flower, and then this little flower, and then our tulips. We're coming along, right? Making it. I don't want to keep you guys here for too long, but like it would be like this, like that. Just so you guys know, if you're using these, they have this plastic film over both sides. So make sure you remove the plastic film. If I can get it, I can show you before you use them, for sanitary reasons, so you know that they're nice and clean here. See how it comes off? So they're even shinier. They're so pretty. So then they don't have all the fingerprints either. And so then we've got, I'll have to fill them and finish decorating. Maybe I'll add some type of, I don't know, I feel like less is more. But I could try some type of, like, glitter, I don't know. We'll see. I can figure something out here to kind of separate the petals a little bit more. So like I said, royal icing has been really pretty. Amanda from, I think, oh, I'm gonna blank on Sweet Nursery Macaron. I don't know, she's in Nova Scotia. She did these really beautiful ones. She tagged me in it today and had this royal icing outline. And it was just so pretty and dainty and looked beautiful. Okay. We could definitely pair these cuties up with each other. Aw, David, you're so sweet. My expectations are pretty low when I'm trying to do something more artistic, but I think they're pretty. I think these are really cute. This one is pretty, these two go together, and I feel like the white one doesn't really vibe with the other two, so that's something that doesn't fully go together in my opinion. But I think these two flowers this one, and this one. I think these are very cartoony and cute together. But if you're going for more of an elegant look, you could do a whole bunch of like painted mats. But I think just having the different like painted mats and cartoony mats doesn't really vibe together. I don't know. Yeah. So, watercolor. You guys are talking watercolor flower. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them now since I got really behind in the comments while I was trying to paint. Oh, Leticia, I promise this is super easy, right? It's just like a whole bunch of circles and lines. You could totally do that. Cross my heart. I can't even draw, I mean, what's the easiest thing? I can't draw any animals. I can't do anything, I promise. So you could do it. Paint is forgiving, especially when you add some different colors and textures. It just looks like, oh, they meant to do that. And someone was saying watercolor flowers. Yeah, they look so beautiful without even having to have like a rhyme or a reason when you're doing the different colors on top of each other. Okay. Do you have a printable template for the flowers? Annette, if you want the template I did, are you a part? I'll put it in my newsletter next week. Are you a part of the newsletter? That's where I share most of my templates. I feel like it was a little small. Oh, Celinda, yeah. Her cherry blossoms were so beautiful. And Fred from Tulip Macarons has done some daisy ones, but they had each individual petal with a different macaron, and he built it together kind of like a puzzle. So pretty as well. Okay, Annette, I'll send it in the newsletter next week. I might enlarge these a little bit as well. I think these actually are a good size. My tip was just too small. Sorry, my tip was too big. So if I'll do this size, and then I'll also enlarge it a little bit for those who want like a bigger flower. Oh, I'm so happy you like the newsletter, Annette. That makes me happy because it's just a fun way to be able to kind of set up my week too, you know, and have the intention of having a good week. It's just a little, it's almost like a journal for me too. Okay. Yes, you don't need to bang your trays. I know that is something that is said, bang your trays, get out those air bubbles. You don't need to do it. It's not going to make your macarons crack if you don't have your trays banged. I personally like banging my tray if I have macaronage a little bit under, so it helps them settle down. But if you already have your macarons really thin, definitely don't bang your tray, because then they're just going to get even thinner out. You can tap your tray. It's not like a bad thing. It's just, yeah, it's not necessary, especially with parchment. Like, see how well these kept their shape on parchment? And they didn't get all like weird? It's because I didn't bang that tray and have them get all crinkled on the parchment paper, because the wet paper kind of itself, you know, changes shape, and then when you're patting it, it gets more wrinkled. Okay. Is it a feeling? What? Do you develop an eye for the macaronage? Yeah, I feel like you do, especially once you hone in on a recipe that you know works for you. You'll get a great feel for how the macaronage should look. Even like bigger batches compared to smaller batches, it takes some time to know. So do the same size batch when you're doing macarons as you get to know use the same spatula, use your same equipment every single time to get an idea of how it flows off of that certain spatula, how it feels in that bowl as you macaronage, how it settles inside that bowl that you've been working with. All the consistent things help so much as you're learning, so you're not questioning, was it this, was it that, was it this? And you're not having it look a little bit different every single time when you're doing a tiny batch to a big batch. So it helps. Consistency is key. Someone asked a good question. Ooh, Annette, how fun. Vacation in South Carolina sounds amazing. How can I sign up for for the newsletter? I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can sign up. It's free. I put it out every Sunday, and it's just a way to like update everybody of, so this is what happened in the live, this is what I learned, and this is what I learned from you a lot of the times because you guys teach me too, and then what's coming up and stuff like that. So it's just a fun way, and I'll send templates too. Okay, tap, 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 tap. Do you ever abandon a batch? No, I've never abandoned a batch. Well, I've even baked, I did peanut flour one time that was super absorbent and it turned into like cookie dough, and I even baked that. I'm gonna bake whatever I'm putting together just to see how it turns out so I can learn from it, and hopefully try to pulverize it and use it in something else so I don't waste the ingredients. Thanks, Olga. Thanks for being here. I hope you're feeling well. And oh, I forgot we have a tray still in there. I hopefully didn't put it for too long. Come on. Here's our last tray. We got our macarons, and I'll see how they pair with a base when we're off the live, because this has been a long time. Thanks for sticking with me. I feel like I wanted to fill these with you and show you these, but I knew it had to be close, Olga. Oh my goodness. You got this. You got this, Mama. I'm just in awe of those doing their business, having their family, all the things. Everyone is busy. Amy, gosh, thank you so much. Hungry Hippo wants to eat some of these macarons I just made. Eclairs, oh my gosh, Marie, that sounds that's an amazing way to use those extra macarons. I've seen there's these two sisters that are really popular, and they have their own bakery. I'm blanking on it, but they're in Canada, I believe, and they make fudge with their filled macarons. That looks amazing too. You could use them in blondies. I think Sasha from Chicago Cakes uses them. She even grinds them up and uses them as the dries for another batch of macarons. If you haven't heard of this method, you can look up Sasha Chicago Cakes. I'm so bad with handles, you guys, and she reuses, she has a recipe that you can purchase that reuses shells for another batch of macarons. It's an Italian method. Oh yes, cake pops. Definitely you can put them in cake pops. I love that idea. I've seen Christina from Macarons by Christina do that. Yes, or Fred. Parfait, Corey, that's so perfect. Parfait. I'm all about parfaits. Give me all the creamy deliciousness with some cake layers and some macaron layers. Okay, Sasha Cake Chicago. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. I'm so bad. I like twist up all the words because I don't read the whole handle most of the time. It's like a couple of the words I know. Okay. What's my comfort food besides macarons? Bread pudding. I'm all about custards and bread. What is it like moving to Alaska? It's stressful. Moving to Alaska, so we're kind of ignoring it until this next week when we actually look for homes, but it's definitely going to be an ordeal and a lot of expense to get our stuff up there, but we're excited for the adventure. Oh, thank you, the Genoa. Thank you so much. 40 years. I'm impressed. Moving is the worst for sure, but I'm excited. Big toujours is, so all toujours means like always or consistently, forever. So I'm always baking, so I just kind of put it together, bake toujours. I did move almost 2 years ago. I know, this was a short move for my husband's job, and now he's done here and he's getting another job by Olga, so this one will be more permanent. Okay friends, thank you so much. Do you feel like Ladurée is underrated or overrated? You know what, I have heard mixed things about Ladurée. When I had it, it was really crunchy, and I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't what I was expecting after having gone into Alsace and lived there for a couple months and eaten really soft, but not like no structure, but just like they melded together and they were super mature macarons. That's what I remembered in Alsace. So then when I tried Ladurée, I was thinking they'd be the same, and they are so much crunchier. But it's really dependent on what you prefer in a macaron. I feel like I would need to try them again to really settle in on an answer, since I've only had them once. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here, Louis. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe. Oh, thank you, Annette. Yes, make croissants. Awesome. Murray, I'm not the biggest fan of crunchy either. Like, I like a nice crisp outside, but then a nice meld center in the center, like a little chew. Thank you, Nicole. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you guys so much. I took up so much of your time. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to finish up these and then hopefully have a pretty picture. So if you're not on Instagram, I'll try to put them on my stories here on YouTube as well. Bye, you guys. Have a good one.